So I wanted to do a little bit more on the 1973 Coyne incident UFO. Um, I just wanted to get more into the description of this thing. I feel like that's important because it's one of the most credible UFO sightings. I think, you know, to date, and I mean, I'm glad that they got they got a really good look at it, apparently. So let's just get into that a little bit more. Um, so I'm gonna read another description of this here, um, real quick. It was October 18th, 1973. North Central Ohio residents witnessed strange lights in the sky to the west over Charles Mill Lake. The next morning, they were shocked to hear that they weren't the only ones. Military helicopter flying near Mansfield, also reported the lights in what is now known as the Coyne incident. According to the Center for UFO Studies, the Coyne incident is now considered the most credible incident in a wave of sightings in 1973. At approximately 10:30 p.m., a UH-1H helicopter with the United States Army Reserve left Port Columbus en route to Cleveland Hopkins Airport, 96 nautical miles to the northeast. In command, the right front seat was Captain Lawrence Coyne. He was 36 years old and with 19 years of flying experience. And at the controls, in the left front seat, sat First Lieutenant Arrigo Jezzi, 26 years old and a chemical engineer. Behind Jezzi sat Sergeant John Healy, 35, a Cleveland policeman who was the flight medic, and the crew chief, Sergeant Robert Yanaksek, 23 years old and a computer technician. The helicopter was cruising at 2,500 feet above sea level at an indicated airspeed of 90 knots, above mixed hills, woods, and rolling farmland, averaging an elevation of 1,200 feet. The night was totally clear, calm, and starry. The last quarter moon was just rising, and around 11 p.m., 10 miles south of Mansfield, Healy noticed a single red light to the west, flying south. A few minutes later, Yanaksek reported a single red light on the southeast horizon, assuming it was a tower beacon or aircraft port wing light, until it then turned toward the helicopter and began rapidly approaching. Now, Coyne quickly powered a descent of 500 feet per minute, simultaneously contacting the National Guard aircraft tower in Mansfield to check if it was one of theirs. But after the initial contact of "This is Mansfield Tower, go ahead Army 15444," all transmissions were lost. Meanwhile, Coyne increased their descent to 2,000 feet per minute at a speed of 100 knots, but still could not outrun the approaching object. Just as the crew braced for impact, the light halted and began hovering above and in front of the helicopter. Okay. So it was rapidly approaching and then it just halted. So that's strange right there. That's crazy. So Coyne, Healy, and Yanaksek all described here's a description of it here. Cigar-shaped, would that also be like cylinder-shaped? So cigar-shaped, slightly domed, but otherwise featureless gray metallic structure. Now, okay. Yaniksek described what appeared to be windows along the top of the dome. There was a red light at the bow and an indented white light at the stern. And then while the object hovered over the helicopter, it says plexiglass windows on the roof allowed the flight crew to view it from below. So while the object, it hovered over the helicopter. A green pyramid-shaped beam similar to a spotlight appeared. First passing over the helicopter's nose and then up through the windshield and upper window panels, enveloping the cockpit in green light. Now, how crazy would this be? What would this thing be? While this happened, the helicopter had begun to climb, as if the object was dragging it upwards for about 10 seconds. So here's what happened next. The object then accelerated off to the west, leaving the helicopter behind, before executing a turn and racing over Lake Erie. Been there a lot of times. Jesse estimated that it moved faster than the 250 knot limit for aircraft below 10,000 feet. But not as fast as the 600 knot speed many other witnesses estimated. The helicopter crew continued on to Cleveland, unable to determine what they saw. Just trying to gather my thoughts here on this thing. Coyne described himself as a skeptic of UFOs, but admitted he couldn't provide a reasonable answer for what happened. Let's see here. Coyne later contacted the Mansfield National Guard Tower and discovered that they had no recordings of any contact with him that night. Not even a tape with the initial contact. Ooh. But did determine that no other aircraft were in the area at that time. Okay. Coyne had also noticed that during the incident, his magnetic compass in the helicopter stopped working correctly and filed a report to have it fixed. But maintenance crews were unable to fix it and eventually had to replace the entire unit. So that is the story. That's another article there on this. The diagram of the object is really so I'm just looking at the drawing here of it, and it's like almost like a bullet shaped. It's definitely round and or oval looking, cigar shaped, yeah. As you can see, there's a bright red light in the front where in the front of it, as it moves in that direction, like the front of it has a bright red light. and in the back is a white light. And then it shows how the sort of like light, it's a light green light, it says, coming down from like the back end of it. It's estimated to be from 50 to 60 feet in length. It's pretty big. And let's see, 15 to 20 feet like in height. 15 to 20 feet in height. I mean, that's big, but it's, man, it's a lot longer. Okay. That's so weird. Yeah, what could this be other than like, let's see if does it say anything else on here? No. But what could this be other than like something out of this world, right? Like, does anybody have any ideas at what this could possibly be? I'm stumped. I honestly, I can't think of anything that we would have that could be anything like this. I don't think it's possible back then to but let me know what you think. I thought I'd go over this a little bit again, get a few more details of some things, because it's a really interesting case. It's very credible. I think all the ones that I've went through so far are pretty credible, except maybe that we don't know about the 1932 George Sutton photograph. I think it's a cool photograph, but I mean, I don't know how credible it really is, but it's interesting. but this one, the Coyne incident, definitely credible. So yeah, I just wanted to make a second part of this before moving on to other cases. And yeah, as always, let me know what you think about this. Do you think it's something from out of this world, um, a secret government aircraft, or what? I'm leaning towards otherworldly myself. All right, and and I'll be back with some more of these UFO videos. And as always, thanks for watching.